Brian Callahan is officially on the hot seat. Why it makes sense for the Titans to go ahead and cut him loose today. And why trading Jeffery Simmons makes more sense now than ever. Today on the Titans Colosseum Podcast.
You are now tuned in to the Titans Colosseum Podcast.
Clash of helmets, guys are screaming. Iron fist, the turf is bleeding. No mercy, no retreating. Battle lines, the fire's feeding. Titans rise, Titans roar. Bang the shield, hit the floor. Titans rise, Titans roar. This is war, this is war. This is war. Stadium shakes, thunder rolling. Hearts ignite, the game unfolding. Echoes loud, the fight is calling. Titans stand, never falling. Victory's name carved in stone. This is our house, this is our throne. Ooh. Titans rise, Titans roar. Bang the shield, hit the floor. Titans rise, Titans roar. This is war, this is war. This is war.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Titans Colosseum Podcast. I'm your host, Leonard Firestone. Let's go ahead and just dive into this week recap. I was about to record this a few minutes ago, and then the presser came out with Brian Callahan, so I waited to record and listen to what he had to say on the presser because there's a lot to process. I know I've told y'all the past couple episodes, and especially in the last ones, hey, week one is a liar. Don't overreact. Just watch some of the things, but there's some things that are just so big of red flags that showcased in week one that they cannot be ignored. They just cannot be ignored. And week one showed, I think, more than ever what we have been fearful for a long time, but we've been trying to give a shot to for Brian Callahan because he is such a nice guy. But it's Brian's not competent to be a head coach. He's just not. He's not a head coach. He's not competent to be a head coach. We're wasting time the more we keep him in this franchise and keep him in the door. It doesn't make sense to keep letting him move forward with the progression. And I get, who's going to come in after or next or time. We'll figure out that. But my replacement now is you let Brian go and you let Denard Wilson step up. Let's see. Because there's been a lot of questions about Denard. If he can be a head coach, he's a damn good defensive coach in my opinion. I think they've been doing a lot of stuff and keeping us in a lot of games and been asked to do more than they should. And they've been damn good on defense. They have some issues. They have some things they need to clean up. But how did we go hire an offensive-minded head coach? And our offense is now the weakest of our three tiers of football. Special teams performed well yesterday. Defense performed well yesterday. Our offense is below lackluster, and that's me being nice. We had 135 total offensive yards, 131 yards off of penalties given up. Offense might as well not have shown up. How do we go an offensive-minded head coach and the offensive gets worse? That don't make sense to me. All the questions we had last year, why aren't the play calls getting in? Why aren't you getting guys open? These things are still huge question marks with Brian Callahan. And there's a bigger red flag, and I know y'all's already know it. We'll get to it momentarily. We chopping this down. All right, we chopping this tree down, hit by hit. It makes sense to let Brian Callahan go now because all you're doing is wasting time. You're wasting time with Cam. He clearly don't know the rules. He's clearly not competent. He's clearly not a QB whisperer. He's clearly not the guy we thought he was. He was clearly a good backup man to Zach Taylor. Like, I don't mean none of this personally. You seem like a really nice guy. But as a head coach and a guy that's supposed to come and turn our franchise around and lead us to a Super Bowl, you're not it. And it's clear as day. Like, I was like, he'll be fired after the New England game. You might not make it. I don't think you should make it to the New England game. At bare minimum, I think you being around and Holmes being around is not a good thing for Cam Ward's production. But I do think if you put Denard there as the temporary head coach for the season, once you let Brian go, at least you got a good defensive coach that can start teaching some how defenses think and defenses react to Cam. At least Cam can get in there with a defensive coach that we've all heard him talk. He knows ball. Them pressers, I'm glued to the screen when he talks football because it's educational. He knows what the fuck he's talking about, and he knows how to articulate his point well enough for you to give a fuck about what he's saying. So, yes, I would love that for Cam Ward's production and growth in year one to get a guy out that don't even know the fucking rules. I want my guy taught by the guy who knows shit. And once again, I'm going to keep comparing Callahan to Vrabel because Vrabel was the last guy. When we fire Callahan and we get a new head coach, guess what? The new head coach ain't never going to be compared to Vrabel to me. He's going to be always compared to Callie because that was the last guy. I'm going to compare you to the last guy because that's who you're taking over for. You got to be better than the last guy. I'm not going to sit here and compare Callahan to Fisher or Wisenhunt or Malarkey. I'll compare him to Vrabel. But once we let Callahan go and we get a new guy, that new guy will be compared to Callahan. I won't be bringing up Vrabel anymore. But in this situation, Miss Amy said what Vrabel was doing was not good enough, that the bar was higher. Vrabel used to know the rules inside and out. Well, you know that for damn sure. The way he made Belichick look on days, the way he made refs look, they changed rules because of Mike Vrabel. Okay, for all his flaws and everything, he knew the rules. You don't even know what's a fucking catch and what qualifies as a catch in the NFL. How the fuck are you a head coach? My 10-year-old and 8-year-olds knew that was a fucking catch because I've drilled it into them so much. 2 feet or one body part outside of hands is inside. It's a catch. Let a butt hit. Let a knee hit. Let an elbow hit. You're in bounds. You don't need to. They know that shit. How the fuck are you a coach's son and don't know that shit? Incompetent. Like I was saying a few episodes ago, I think Bill knew Brian was not ready. You can't be, don't put me on your resume, but as soon as you got a job here, I'll come. But all up and before that, I won't come. I'm not going to be there for you. You can't come work on my staff. I'm not going to be on your resume so you tell people I'm coming to work with you. But once you got a job, I got to come to the rescue. I think Bill knew Brian wasn't ready, and Brian's not ready. He's not ready. He don't even know the fucking rules. And we'll just go ahead and dive into it. At the presser, he starts it open, was like, hey, okay, I just want to let y'all know that I misinterpreted the rule. Says that at first he said, I just misinterpreted the rule. I didn't know the rule. I am more clarified on the rule now. Basically what he was saying. But he literally said, I misinterpreted the rule. Okay, then they pressed him a little bit more. It's like, well, if you misinterpreted, ain't the guy that's in the booth supposed to be the guy that tells you and counsels you and tells you that, hey, you're wrong, this is it, this is a catch? So not only did you not know, your staff didn't know. So not only are you not competent in knowing what the fuck is going on, the guy you hired to be competent at the shit you're not competent is not competent at it. Now you're not even competent at hiring competent people. Not only are you not competent, you're not competent enough to hire competent people. Because both of y'all didn't know the rules. And he says, I'll keep that process in-house. I won't tell y'all how we handle that and who it goes through and this and that. Because there's probably multiple people. Probably multiple fucking people that didn't know the fucking rule in your coaching staff. And that's not a good fucking look for you. It's already a bad enough look that two of you motherfuckers didn't know the fucking rule. When everybody at home screaming at the TV knew the fucking rule. That's already bad enough. Okay, says he misinterpreted the rule, says he won't sit there and tell us how we handle stuff in-house when that comes to that decision. He's going to keep it in-house, right? They asked him, what do you hope the players take from this situation and you not knowing the rules and you coming out and saying this in a presser? He's like, well, I hope that they see that I take accountability and I'm owning a mistake. Okay, that's good. I like that. I like that vision. I can understand that. I can get with that. Don't be like me. Be better than me. I made a wrong. We're all gonna make mistakes. We're human. That's what it's gonna be. But I'm gonna come out here and own it and say that I wasn't educated as much as I should have been. I didn't know as much as I should have known. I own that mistake. The problem with that is what comes a few minutes later in the presser is that they press him a little bit more about it. Okay, so I can't remember exactly what the question was, but they keep asking him more about, okay, so what about that catch and not the rules, and how do you not know this? And I can't remember exactly what the question was, but they pressed him a little more. And he sat there and he said, he knows the rules. I'm very well aware of the rules and what the rules are. I know this game, and I just misspoke after the game. I knew the rules. And was basically saying, I know what the rules are. I knew the rules then. I just misspoke after the game. There was so much craziness going on that I misspoke, but I knew the rules. And basically saying, I knew the rules. I knew that was a catch. But in that moment, it was so much craziness that I couldn't tell that that's what I knew, and I didn't have confidence in myself. One or the other, basically. But you went from, I misinterpreted the rules because I didn't know it properly, to I misspoke about the rule and I knew the rule. Which is it? Because it can't be both. You can't come out and say, I misinterpreted it, and that's how you start the pressers. I misinterpreted it. I didn't understand the rule fully. I now have a better understanding of the rule. Then when you start getting pressed about it 5 or 6 questions later, you're like, hey, look, I know the rules, okay? I know the rules. I know the game. Okay, I just misspoke. Well, that's not what you just said 5 minutes ago. You said you misinterpreted. Now you're saying you misspoke. What happened to accountability? Just because it's starting to get hot don't mean you can start changing the temperature in the room by using different words as misinterpreted and misspoke. Because those are two different things. Either you misinterpreted the rule or you knew the rule and you misspoke. But I think the fact that you're sitting there now backpedaling when you get pressed in the same presser that ain't even 20 minutes long, it shows where your competence is. It shows where you're standing firm at. It shows where everything about you as a coach for me. You're not the guy to lead. You're just not it. When things are going to get a little hot and you get pressed about a situation, all right, maybe, yeah, okay, you start backpedaling. You're passive. You're not aggressive. And it shows in your play calling. I don't like it. The defense was amazing yesterday. Up until like the last fourth quarter, you know, they're getting tired. The offense wasn't doing shit. That defense played well yesterday. Multiple turnovers. Special teams turnover. Special teams return. Like, last year, our biggest question marks was special teams and offense. We got special teams fixed, at least for week 1, it looked good. We'll see how it continues out the rest of the season. But week 1, the special teams didn't look like special teams last year. So, how is it now we have an offensive-minded head coach, and the worst part of our offense is, or the worst part of our team is the offense? The last sequence in the drive we had as the Titans going into the halftime, where we're down there on the 2. I don't understand none of that shit. Once again, Brian Callahan's play calling just doesn't make sense to me. And I think we ran on every single first down. Like, it's just not creative. It feels like it's like a spaghetti. We're throwing it at the wall, seeing what sticks. Try this play. Fuck, that didn't work. Okay, try this play. Fuck, that didn't work. Try this play. Fuck, that didn't work. Like, are you not, like, play calling is an art. It's a beautiful art. You're not just calling shit out of the fucking random blue. You're calling a play that maybe will set up a play later in the third quarter. You're running formations that then later when you give them that same look, they think they know the play, then you run something else out of it. Oh, we've been running run heavy in this formation. Now we're going to come back and get a real quick run on them as soon, or quick slant routes or a deep route. We're going to change it up on them in the same look. You put some creativity, you put some twist into it, and it doesn't feel like Brian Callahan ever does that. It just feels like, try this one. No, it's good. No, fight. Try that one. That worked? No, fuck, that didn't work. Okay, try that one. That's all it feels like with each fucking play. It don't feel like there's a grand master plan of why you're calling these plays. Other than, this should work. I think this will work. And I'm tired of hearing that. Well, I had that screenplay design down there, and somebody was supposed to sit there and stay. And he wouldn't even tell us which receiver was supposed to be the guy who stayed and looked at the QB and caught the screen. But everybody went out there to block. So once again, incompetent. I was on you about screens already, and I was tired of seeing them. Then you go run a screen, and nobody's there for the fucking screen. Like, the play calling, the incompetence from this coaching staff is beyond mind-boggling. It's ridiculous. Denver Broncos mocked Cam Ward the entire fucking game. Entire fucking game. Offense had no answers. No touchdowns. Nothing but field goals all day. Sound familiar? Feel familiar? Mike Vrabel bar was not good enough. Still feels like we're there. Drive down the field to get field goals. Still feels the fucking same. And that's not a brag to Vrabel. It's still saying we're not where we're supposed to fucking be. I know y'all like to call me a Vrabel defender. I'm not defending him here. Vrabel was not good enough. It feels like you're doing the same fucking shit. Just a little different. And I'll give you this too. He gave us a Vrabel line in the fucking presser. Just a little different. And it aggravated me. I got to do better. Or we got to do better. And I got to do better. Vrabel words. Players got to play better. Coaches got to coach better. We're tired of hearing this shit. I don't care how you want to phrase it. We're tired of hearing it. Fucking show up and do it. Shut up and put up. Show us on the field. Defensive special teams did good yesterday. Now they had the issues. Jeff had his issue. We'll get to that in a second. But overall, the defense did good. And I think some of that frustration came from the offense not balancing it the fuck out. And at some point, you bend and you don't break. At some point, you're going to break. There's enough chances you're going to break. They was doing an amazing job that game. Jeff jumped off sides, got a little antsy early on. It's okay, it happens. I mean, I want to, be on you. You're a veteran, can't have that happen. But it's week one. We're all getting back in. The jitters are all there. Emotions there. It happens. But the personal foul, where you coming into a play that you 10 yards away from happening, and he's already drove him back 5 more yards for you to come in there just to push him for no fucking reason? When we got a 3rd down stop, yeah, the clock's going to keep going, but they got a punt. Now you just gave them a whole reset of downs. And we ain't got no more timeouts. That's not veteran shit. That's not leadership. Y'all keep telling us, oh, Jeff just does these things in practice. He's just testing Cam and testing guys. You want a guy like that on a practice. But then you start seeing these emotional actions on the field. Now what? The antics are not worth the reward for us. And at this point, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He played good. He was getting sacks. He got fumbles. He's playing good. My personal point here of trading him ain't because he's bad. I'm just saying it's good business. Especially if we fire Callahan. We got to be honest here. I know we want to turn around, but we're not turning this around in a few years. This is like a 3 to 5 year rebuild. And if it's a 3 to 5 year rebuild, let Jeff go somewhere else and play with a competent team. Let us get some draft picks so we can start building a team together instead of by the time we get this team built, Jeffrey's going to be gone or retiring, and now we got another hole when we finally thought we built everything around Jeffrey. Now Jeffrey's going to be leaving because contracts are going to be up. Old age is going to come. He's tired of dealing with the bullshit in the meantime of the 3 to 5 years of us rebuilding again and not winning shit. Okay, this ain't about Jeff not being a good player or Jeff not being the best player on the team. It's really good business. If we're going to rebuild, we got to suck it up, take one on the chin. It's going to suck, but damn it, Jeff, you got to go. Let's send him somewhere. Let's give him some options. Let's not just send him to a dumpster fire because he's already at one. Let's send him somewhere that he can have competence and have a chance of, playoff run, get him a ring like we've done with everybody else. I know Titans fans are sick of hearing that. Trust me, I am too. But at this point, if you can trade Jeff, and get a good haul of picks. They ain't got to be first rounders because we just saw what the Michael Parsons trade was. But if you can go get a sleigh of picks, you can start bringing in a bunch of young talent in these drafts and start building on rookie contracts, which is what we need to do. Give Cam Ward that locker room fully. Let him be the one and only vocal voice in that locker room. Let him be a leader. Trade Jeff away. Get some picks. Because I think the antics are only going to get worse with Jeff's here because it's going to get more aggravating. It's going to get more frustrating. I don't see Callahan turning this around. I don't see the offense getting more competent. I see you only getting more frustrated. So, business is business. Trade Jeff away. Let's get some picks. Let's start putting together who are the young guys we can build around. Who are the veterans that can sit here and help mentor guys and get them up to where we want them to be. And let's start building this foundation right if we're going to do a rebuild. Because we've been trying to slow this thing out. It's a retool, not a rebuild is what Rand said. And it's a rebuild. We got a rookie quarterback. We got some rookie wide receivers that are showing some promise. We got an O-line that is still needs to improve. The tackle situations, I don't know what the fuck is going on. We still need to improve on that O-line. Like, there's still so much shit we need to do, and we can't keep trying to do it through free agency. At some point, you just have to understand, hey, look, let's get picks, get rid of high contracts, save up money, find guys who are good in the draft, give them contracts when we find who's good, and keep them around, and let's rebuild this thing right. It's what needs to be done. It's going to suck, but it's what needs to be done. The antics are not worth the risk anymore. Or the antics ain't worth the reward with Jeffrey anymore. Like, cool, all right, he got those sacks. He got that forced fumble on the QB. But my question to you would be, if I was to say we would take away that personal foul play at the end of towards the end of the game with Jeff. If we took away that, we will take away that, but you also got to let us take away that forced fumble from the QB. If you're willing to do that and say, like, yeah, okay, that's a fair trade across the board, it shows you right there that the antics ain't worth the reward. That's what it shows you right there. Now, if your answer is no, then okay, maybe you still have some hope in that. And I get that. But even then, my push to trade is not the antics. My push to trade is it's just good business. We get picks and then we go build through the draft. Business. Strictly business. Titans have to fire Brian Callahan. It just has to be done. The sooner the better. Let Denard get in there. Let Denard see. Let's see if Denard's a good coach. Because when he first came in as defensive coordinator, he talked good. We was always like, oh man, Denard's about to be out here. He's going to be a head coach in no time. Let's not be behind the curve this time. Fire Brian Callahan. The more time throughout the season, you can see what Denard is of a head coach. Okay? Promote him. Let's see what Denard is. Then after the end of the season, let's go through our interview process again. It's going to suck. But at least you're going to have a bunch of weeks of seeing what Denard can do with this team and how the players respond to Denard. The sooner the better. Then we'll see if we go get John Gruden or some of these other names Titans fans are out here pushing out and around on social media that they want us to go grab. But for the time being, not knowing what's a catch in the NFL is mind-boggling to me from a head coach. Mind-boggling. I can't wrap my head around it. Like, I was not prepared, even when I told y'all, week one's a liar, don't do this and that. I was not prepared and expected to hear the head coach say he misinterpreted the rule on what and what not a catch is. That's alarming. What other rules don't you know? What other things don't you know? What other things have you misinterpreted? Now I'm even worried about the hiring process. How the fuck did you get hired? And you don't know what a catch is. Like, it's just, we're going to see. Okay, week one's a liar. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all's feeling. Is it time to let Brian Callahan go? Do we give him a little bit more time? If we do let him go, who do you want to see as the new Titans head coach for, the interim head coach for the season? And then who you want to see us go get next year? I mean, it's crazy this is what we're talking about week one. But I think the biggest thing for us out of the Titans was, for most fans, like, we didn't like the play calling, we didn't like some of the series, but coming afterwards and telling us you didn't know what a catch was the straw that broke the camel's back. That was the unforgivable thing. Like, okay, we can understand you're still learning play calling. We can still understand you're learning some of these other things. I can't understand and be competent with you, or I can't understand and vouch for you and excuse you not knowing what a catch is in the NFL. That's just mind-boggling. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us. Let us know how you feel. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments below. I know y'all don't like the Big Jeff thing, but it makes sense. Whether we agree or disagree, that's completely fine. I'm okay with that. But thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like I said, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, and I will catch y'all on the next episode. Make sure to tighten up. Peace.